And we've started with Kibra. We'll get into the invasions, but did it worry you? I don't know whether you received those reports on your WhatsApp, Annabel, videos that were shared coming out of Kibra fire, speculation on the cause. Like Joyce has said, there are some who are alluding that it was two factions that were retaliatory attacks, essentially. Yes. Does it concern you?
It does. I had to leave work early, so when I got home I was just trying to catch up on what I had not done, and then Kenya Power did the thing, so yeah. But largely, so I just kept in between work, I kept on just taking a peek on Twitter to just see how the scenario was playing out. And then I saw the tweets by Boniface Mwangi and the videos. That was an inferno. One, it concerns me because we all know the landscape that is Kibra. It's primarily shanties. So, first of all, I understand what the governor is saying. Yes, you would be concerned as the in charge of the county to just deploy your staff, bearing in mind that you have to be mindful of their welfare and their safety. So then my concern, and then now, eventually when they do get there, because of the terrain, how does that fire truck even maneuver to get to where that fire is to put it out? And by the time that is happening, how much damage has happened? And then where do we leave the residents of that area? They've woken up today morning. Your property was burnt last night. You don't have a roof over your head. Where are you going? What health and sanitation scenario are we looking at for you and your children? So it's a sad state of affairs, much as we're still trying to figure out what exactly happened, because right now there's all manner of stories. So we're going to have to give things time to cool down so that we can actually get to the root cause. It's just, no. When we were talking of picketing, demonstrating, to be very honest, that should have been a last case scenario. It should not even be happening. Why are we having that? It is very concerning. It is very concerning indeed. Let's now take a look. Can we please share the papers with them so that we can get into the dailies? And the Daily Nation, I think, puts it how I am thinking, what I'm thinking, and that is stop this madness. Down a slippery path, a man was shot dead by police in Kisumu and several people injured on the second Monday of protests in which property of unknown value was looted and destroyed. Properties belonging to the families of former President Uhuru Kenyatta and Azimio leader Raila Odinga were targeted for attack, with machete-wielding gangs driving away animals and setting a tree plantation on fire at the Kenyatta's Northlands City Estate. I see up here Dark Monday, I think, which aptly describes the situation. Bullets, tear gas and stones in running battles between police and protesters, and several images captured here on the front page of the Daily Nation. I see police in riot gear, and this should be either Mathare or Kibra. I'll need to refer. This is Mathare. Demonstrators engaged police in running battles at Mathare 10 area during yesterday's Azimio anti-government protests. And we can see another photo. This particular photo is by Sila Kiplagat. He's the one who shot last Monday the picture of the tear gas canister, the officer and the tear gas canister being lobbed. And then I see another photo here, this time by Dennis Onsongo. Free for all as invaders carry sheep looted from the Kenyatta family-owned Northlands City in Kiambu County. And I see there as Mio Chief Raila Odinga addresses a crowd in Kawangware. What do you make of the free-for-all as it's been described on the front page of the Daily Nation at the Kenyatta family-owned Northlands in Kiambu? Joyce?
Announce itself. That's what I can say. In Rwanda, April 6, 1984, it was a normal day, and the next day they woke up and 80,000 people had died. So I feel like we are really trading on a dangerous path here. And this, whatever happened in Uhuru's farm and also in Raila's gas plant, that's basically, that will lead to retaliatory attacks, and it might even lead to a protracted conflict that we're not ready for, that we are definitely not ready for. and it worries me.
It worries you.
Yes.
Annabel?
You know, Olive, today I came with this little booklet.
You came armed.
With this
With
little
your
booklet,
constitution.
because if there is a document that has been violated and defiled in this country in the past week, it is our constitution. And I mean, people have the right or the freedom to assemble peacefully in this country. Peacefully being the key word. And that is also backed by the Public Order Act, Cap 56 of this country. Then the other most precious right that this document gave us is the right to own property. And by owning property in legal terms, we like using the term peaceably and quietly. So as Olive, if you purchase your land today, you should not have to worry about some random person, you know, crisscrossing on your parcel of land. You don't need to worry about some random person getting onto your property and, you know, touching your pets or cutting down your trees, you know, making use of the water that you've piped to your house. You don't need to worry about that. Now, I understand there's political undertones to this whole scenario. It's one, either this attacks happened coincidentally, perhaps this youth just got upset and decided, you know what, let's go and have at it. If we are not going to be able to report to our places of work, if we're not going to be able to run our kiosks and nail parlors, which is what a lot of young people are doing in CBD, then why should their businesses continue running? Why should their property remain untouched? Perhaps it was coincidentally. On the other hand, perhaps it was politically sponsored or politically organized, which is what some people are suggesting. Either way, the primary question here is, where were the police? There's a GSU base, Troiro, if I am not mistaken, not too far from that property. You cannot tell me that all of those guys had been deployed to deal with the protests. Why did nobody send a team to go and curtail this youth? Because then what we are suggesting is that there are people whose property can be interfered with in this country. Then, regardless of political affiliation, and I've seen guys saying, yes, kama si tutafanya biashara pia hawafai kufanya biashara, but what you need to ask yourself is, what about your tomorrow? You, the owner of that 50 by 100 in that Kamakis. What about you, owner of your 1, 2, 3, 10 acres in whatever part of this country? How safe is your property moving forward? What basis do you have, or what locus do you have to stop people from encroaching on your property tomorrow and helping themselves to whatever, you know, value addition that you have invested into that property, whether it is a building, whether it is animals, you know, livestock and what have you, whether it is water tanks? Where does that leave you? So we need to be very careful that even as we're expressing our different stands, whether as the demonstrators, whether as the government of the day, that we are very mindful of the precedents that we are setting, that is one, and number two, of our future as Kenyans. Don't look at it as ni shida ya huyo mwingine. No. What about you tomorrow? Because you allow it to happen to Olive tomorrow. I mean today. Tomorrow is going to happen to Annabel. The other day is going to happen to Joyce. So what happens? Where does that leave us? I agree. We're treading on very, very dangerous ground. So let everybody exercise their mandate. You want to picket, go ahead and picket because you're feeling aggrieved. You're the government of the day. You are mandated to protect our territorial integrity as a country that is within our borders and outside our borders. But can we please do it within the parameters of the law? There's a reason why we got this document in 2010. It is because of the history we enjoy as a country, both good and bad. So can we please not violate it? Because in violating it, we're going to be opening doors to something that is worse than Pandora's box.